Meek Mill is hollering free YSL, Young Thug. And he's been passionate about it. He's saying that these guys have been taken from their families, that it is inhumane for Young Thug to be locked up 23-1. Go stand, nigga, and be that G. Go be that general you been professing to be. Don't be all in there.
Meek Mill's been kind of vocal when it comes to his support for the YSL members who got locked up behind bars because of the RICO charges. He's been all over Twitter and Instagram with it, and because of that, he caught the attention of Charleston White, who wasn't so happy to see what's going on with Meek. Not only that, but he has a strong message for Meek too. Charleston White made a whole video pretty much dedicated to Meek Mill, where he clearly states his opinion about Meek Mill and his support of Young Thug, Gunna, and the rest of the YSL crew who might be facing charges and time in jail, and he is furious. Nah, for real, this guy is pissed off, and it seems like he's got decent reasons for it too. Why is he so mad though? Well, let's start with Charleston White, see who he is, and then see what he has to say about Meek's support of YSL. A lot of people know Charleston now because he's been getting some attention from social media and the online community. Why? Because of his controversial but sincere opinions on a number of different topics. Charleston White speaks a lot about rap artists, the black community, crime, the judicial system, plenty more. He even acts as a motivational speaker, and he's an active member of his local church. He runs an organization dedicated to the education of young people trying to stay out of trouble. But he wasn't always the man he is today. For those of y'all who don't know, Charleston was behind bars himself, and from a young age too. Charleston White was only a young kid at the age of 14 when he ended up in juvie for the first time. He and a couple of other boys were caught stealing, and they shot the guy trying to stop him. Charleston served 7 years because of it. What happened to him back then formed him into the person who he is today. With that being said, it's no surprise that he had something to say about Meek Mill. This wasn't even the first time that Charleston White spoke about Meek Mill, his time in jail, and the message that he sends out to all the people listening to his music. Not to mention his hypocrisy. So the first Meek Mill tweet that got Charleston hectic was this one. Free Lil Melly, he innocent. Let's watch the facts of his case so he don't get railroaded. It's in Florida. It may be on TV. This one really got the steam machine rolling with Charleston. He made a whole video about it and posted it online. Before you know it, everyone was talking about it. Just look at some of the things he had to say about it.
Here it is. You got this motherfucker Meek Mill hollering free YMW Millie. Let's look at all the facts at the case. Well, why the fuck you hollering free him then, nigga? If you want us to, hold on. I swear to God, I hate a rapping mother. Nigga, I think you niggas are some cowards. We ain't freeing no nigga that done killed now some bitch. Y'all just go say fuck the victim's family, man. And whoever he killed, they got a family. So we just go free him, and what about the family? That's a black family over there in pain and hurt. Is that what we gonna do? Meek Mill, you a bitch ass nigga.
Safe to say that Charleston's pretty pissed here. People be right there in the boat with him too. If you don't believe it, just check out these comments. He totally right about the family and his parents and his friends, and he loved one Meek, you wrong, bruh. Plenty of others from YouTube thought the exact same way. You crazy, Charleston, but you speak 100 truth. As we can see, some of the stuff that Charleston talked about resonated with the people. There's a flip side to what the main story is almost every single time. For example, the fact that nobody doesn't talk about the victim's family on TV doesn't make it less difficult for him. It's easy to forget about the grieving family members when they are not on TV. On top of that, if you want to free Melly, why not free the other dudes who were also charged but didn't have all the facts laid out? That's why Charleston says,
let Lil Timmy off. Let the man who killed Nipsey Hussle free him. What's the difference?
So a couple of months passed since then, and the famous RICO indictment against YSL took place. We all know that Thugger and the rest of his crew are faced with some serious charges. I mean, up to 56 counts of criminal activity is some serious stuff. Some believe they were responsible for over 20 death cases. Thugger's been behind bars ever since, and according to his reps, he's not being kept in good condition. He's isolated and can't have all the commodities that are usually available to inmates, like daily showers and proper time spent outside in the open. Being on good terms with the bunch and wanting to show some love, Meek Mill wasn't shy at all about showing his support for not only Thugger, but Gunna and the other YSL members who are pretty much going through hell right now. So he decided to hop on Twitter and say a couple of things. things. Here are some of his tweets. Free Thug, free Gunna, free YSL, everybody deserves bail. And then another one, but with this one, he referred to those inhumane rules that a lot of people talked about, like spending 23 hours out of 24 inside of a cell. Free slime, free Gunna, free YSL is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Respect to that black woman trying to protect her community. But going from the family success to 23 and ones is not humane. Think about locking your dog in that bathroom 23-1. Nobody deserves that. It seems that all Meek Mill wants to accomplish with these is to show some support to the ones locked up, to make everyone else sure that he still thinks about them and prays for them. Little did he know he'd make Charleston hella mad. Now, you remember how strongly Charleston White hates hypocrites? Well, we're pretty much just counting the hours before he'd hop online and call out Meeky, as he likes to call him. He uploaded this video where he rants on about Meek Mill and his decision to support YSL, even though they're nothing but criminals who deserve to be locked up, according to Charleston. A lot of things were said in the video. Here's some of it.
Hey, Meek Mill, don't you think it's inhumane for them niggas to ride around with all them big ass clips hanging out them guns, shooting up the neighborhoods, propagating and promoting violence to the black people and getting black children to do what they do? Don't you think that's inhumane, Meek? You ain't never got nothing to say about that, Meek.
That's not all. At the end of the video, he had this message.
I just want to let Meek Mills know that I don't know where he been in the United States of America talking about, well, we innocent till we proven guilty. You a lying motherfucker. Nigga, you know what nigga always guilty till he proven innocent. That's why nigga be on the phone saying, baby, call such and such. Call such and such. Nigga, you can't change the rules, nigga.
Fans recognize what Charleston is talking about. Just like last time that Meek got called out by Charleston, this time around the majority of the people stands with Charleston too. It seems like common sense to them. In this era of hip-hop, we need to hear the voice of common sense and truth. Charleston White does a good job of pointing out self-hate, hypocrisy, cowardice, and stupidity promoted by some rappers. Folks from Reddit have been lurking and talking too. They notice what's been going on. One of the comments read, "Unpopular opinion, we need more voices like Charleston White in the community who will give the uncomfortable truth." If you heard either one of Charleston's videos, then you know that Charleston spoke about drill rap, specifically O Block and Lil Durk. Charleston wonders and asks himself, why in the world is the trend of speaking about murder, hitting licks, and smoking ops still a thing? Didn't we already see enough? It's time for a change. Then think about the music industry that manipulates artists. He also says that Meek Mill is doing bunny hops whenever the white man tells him to do so. This ain't mean nothing else but the big boys from the record labels telling you what you can and cannot do. Plain simple, yet it's still a thing. Think of those tweets Meek Mill posted about struggling with lawyers and people from the record labels taking money from him. It all makes sense now. But what's bothering Charleston White perhaps the most, and the topic that's coming up over and over again, is that of hypocrisy. Rappers like Young Thug who claim they're about that life, but then go behind bars and pray to God, well, Charleston hates them. If you're a real G, you'll not only talk the talk, but you'll also walk the walk when the time for it comes. Everyone knows that actions have consequences. If you did the dirt, you'll have to face the trial for your actions. Take responsibility, don't run away from it. Charleston isn't the only one sick and tired of this type of behavior. Most of the people out there having to live with this stuff are. People hate that accountability word, and us as black people have to stop acting like speaking against the toxicity in our own community's culture is a sin. You either want better for your people or you don't. Charleston thinks that hypocritical behavior such as this is the root of evil that's consuming the black community. People need to stick together, love each other, and care for each other. Yet, all these rappers brag about is guns, violence, and hate. Lastly, the message he sent to Meek at the end, it was nothing but uncovering the sad truth about how black folks are being treated by the judicial system. If you ask him, and a lot of people would agree, there isn't much justice for those who are already locked up. If they got you behind bars and they don't find another suspect, you're gonna stay there. Needless to say, Charleston White is a man seriously pissed off for seeing all the wrongs of this world and how almost nobody is doing anything about it. We need a serious change, and he believes speaking up about all the bad stuff is one way to do it. But what do y'all think? Did Meek deserve such a roast from Charleston, or was he a little over the top? Is there some other way of addressing the big issues we see eating up the hip-hop community? Let us know more about it in the comments section below. As always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.